Good morning, travelers. Tara here, Hiddenlotus Tarot, and today is October 11th, 2016, and I'm going to be coming to you today with another open reading. First, I would like to welcome all of my new subscribers and thank my diehard subscribers for sticking with me. You guys, yesterday, my email box was overwhelmed with emails. And the few ones that I did read, some of them were very poignant and touching and almost made me want to cry. Others were funny as hell. Um, I really appreciate and I'm humbled not only for the emails, but also the YouTube comments over on the channel. I mean, my email was just overwhelmed yesterday. That's why I asked if you want to make a comment to please do it on the website, because my email was completely overrun yesterday. Not that I'm really complaining about that, but I had a lot of reading requests that were lost in the shuffle. So if you contacted me, you paid for a reading, bear with me. You're going to hear back from me. I got to just dig down and find the emails. I'm very, very humbled, and I feel very honored that you guys were willing to share your experiences with me. That really means a lot to me. So thank you so much. Those people who made donations to me, I want to thank you very much as well, because that does allow me to be able to focus my full attention on what it is that I like to do. Will you pardon me? I got to go grab some water. My allergies, and every day I'm getting the allergy alert super high. Well, my throat and my eyes tell me that. So 1 second, I'll be right back. Jesus. Okay, now, if you are interested in booking a reading with me, I ask that you please read the important information on the website. It says important information on booking. It's the first page on the site. I know it's a lot of crap, but if you read it, it's going to make the booking process so much simpler. For those of you who have contacted me about Akashic Records readings, I'll have to do another video on those, and then I'll have to post it up so that everybody can see it when they come, about how you book. And also the etheric cord cutting. I've had a couple of inquiries about that. Anyway, to make a long story short, I think what I was trying to say about those last two things is that I got a lot of emails. So let me just go back through it. Just please be patient with me. Anyway, yesterday, that reading was so intense, it completely knocked me down for the rest of the day. I just didn't have the energy or the strength to do much of anything. And so what I was doing, as you can see, I already have cards laid out here, and I have the Heart Oracle Tarot by John Holland here with me. These are oracle cards, and they're not tarot cards, so there's a different feel and a different read with different messages. And what I was trying to do was clear that intense energy from yesterday, so that once I go to the tarot cards, perhaps it will, we'll just have to see what happens. Anyway, I put 9 cards down, and what I have, and this was really just for myself, or so I thought. I was like, well, let me clear my energies. I've done my meditation, but let me go ahead and clear some more energies before I do the reading. And what came out, I think, is something that I should share, because the message can perhaps help someone else. Now, the 9 cards, we have the World. I don't know if you can see that. This camera's so crappy. One of these days, okay? Then I have the 7 of Cups. It's called Daydreams and Decisions. Okay, wait. The World card is called Embrace. Okay. The 7 of Cups, this is what it's related to, is called the Daydreams and Decisions. Then I have the Ace of Wands, called the Clarity of Belief. I don't know if you guys can really see that. There's such a glare on these cards. There we go. Okay, clarity of belief. Let me go back and show you the other cards so you can see the imagery on them. These are beautiful cards. The glare is really coming off the computer screen. Okay, there's that Seven of Cups. Can you see? Okay. Then I have the Six of Cups. It's called Simply Love. Then I have the Fool card, or the Trust card, in this deck. So this is a major arcana. Then I have the Two of Cups, and it's called Coming Together. Okay. Then I have the number 8. It is called Control, which is also known as the Strength card. Yes, the Strength card. Now this deck has chakra cards, and the 5th chakra has come up, the throat chakra. Okay. And then I have the number 8, Success and Growth, and this is the 8 of Wands, with the overall energy being the solar plexus, the number 3 card. So the way the chakras are numbered they go from the bottom up. And these are our energy centers. And each one of these energy centers can help us connect to staying in full energetic alignment. Now, I have 3 major arcanas. I have the World, the Fool, and the Strength card, otherwise known as the Embrace, Trust, and Control. I have 3 Cup cards, 1 Swords, 1 Wands. Now, I want to mention something yesterday that I missed. I didn't miss it. Well, I missed it, but I didn't miss it. That Casanova spread I did, and I was explaining to you, it's like it would be someone who has all their ducks in a row. They've got everything they want. But remember I said that the cups were missing. The cups were missing. There were lots of swords cards. And so this person, or that person as it relates to yesterday, or that situation, is a situation in which it is someone who has pretty much everything that they want except love. Okay? There were no cups. There was only 1 cups, and it was a 7 of Cups. And even that has brought about some confusion, emotional confusion. Now, how that relates to this, and this World card has been coming up in almost every single spread. So this is indeed a new cycle. It is something new trying to come into being. It's trying to manifest itself. But what I'm reading here in a very, very subtle way with these cards is that it's almost as if it is delays designed by fate. Looking at the numerology, I'm looking at spiritual protection in this. This relates, the 3 cards across the top equal to a number 11, and that's a master number. And it is about the spiritual messenger. It is about receiving messages from spirit. And as long as you know that your guardian angels are there to protect you, and you can call on them to ask you for some clarity in the situation. But know that whatever the situation is that you're going through, or that the challenge that you find yourself facing, there is spiritual protection in it. Down the center, I have a 3. This also tells me that there is spiritual protection presently going on right now. This is the present row. Across this way, I have an 8. Okay. And what's interesting here is that I also have 2 8s. So in one respect, the 2 8s say you will receive news that affect the relationship. Now, yesterday, I ended it by saying some of you will be receiving a message from far away, that if it wasn't a literal message, that it was going to be a message, a faraway message with a different connotation, that spiritual protection. This reads as an 11. Okay. This row here, the World, the Fool, and the 8 of Wands. 3 8s, if I look at these together, these 4 cards, speak to, it says, you and your beloved will go on a trip. but it also speaks to hassles and delays and obstacles, okay, and some frustration. Now, I can't do the math right here because my brain is just fried. So let me give a little calculator, okay, and give you um, the numerology. Aha, this row is also a 3, okay, and then we end in 3s with a 3. So again, the underlying theme of this is some kind of spiritual protection. Now, what I'm looking at the top is that uh, uh, what is trying to manifest itself here with this world card is a renewal. It is an integration. It is a new lesson trying to come in. And it has to do with someone's perceptions and their ideas of what it is they want for themselves. Daydreams and decisions. Again, we keep getting this 7 of Cups coming up. We know that 7s speak to internal conflict or spiritual conflict. Yes, indeed. But this card says daydreams and decisions. Okay, so what do you daydream about? What is it that you want? And what decisions are you required to make, or you going to make, or that you need to make in order to bring those things about fruition? See, we have the Ace of Swords, the clarity of belief. Okay. Now, on the center row, I have these very two opposing cards here. They're not opposing. I just mean in the way that they sit in the spread. I have Simply Love. Now, that's a 6 of Cups. And so I was speaking to you about karmic connections or past life energies coming together in the present incarnation. Okay. But the 6th card, the Simply Love, this speaks to, in a sense, getting in touch with healing those emotional wounds of the past. Even though you may not recognize that what your challenge is and what you're going through right now comes from a previous incarnation, if you can be open to that possibility, that will allow you to bridge the 2 incarnations with some healing. So in other words, you're going to have to let some things go. You are going to have to heal the inner child. This could even be about relationships between parent and child. As you can see, we have these 2 father-like images with the 2 childlike images. This could be related to what your idea of a father is, or what your idea of, from the male perspective, of what love, care, and protection and nurturing is all about. But the 6 of Cups also says to, instead of focusing on what you don't have, look at what you do have, okay? And then recognize the value in those things that you do have. The Fool has come in to say you're going to have to trust not only the process, but whatever thing has come in, or person that has come in, or challenge that has presented itself, you're going to have to trust that that really is for your greatest good, and you're going to have to release some things, okay? And it's designed to move you forward. And if you can do that, you will not only rectify those male and female energies, that yin and that yang, but you're really going to open up a space where you will be able to finally accept love. Okay, because see, some people do a lot of giving, they do a lot of taking care of other people, but they themselves never look at what they need. Okay, this goes back to the daydreams and the decisions. If you have a vision, if you have an idea, if you have a desire about what you want your romantic sphere, or your love sphere, or your nurturing and caring sphere, your emotional sphere, if you have dreams about that, what are you going to do about it? Okay, recognize, first of all, that you have these things, and that everybody wants love and security. Everybody, and the 2 go hand in hand. You can't really have one without the other for them to be effective. And so you're being presented with an opportunity to grasp this. Okay, that's what this Ace says. It is having the mental clarity to cut through all of the past old bad relationships, crap that you've had with your parents, crap that you've had with your siblings, and even the crap that you got with your past life connection. You have to be open to that possibility that that could be why you are having the challenge that you're having. But this bottom row, and that's why I say it's kind of like it's delays designed by fate. Remember, the 3/8 speak to obstacles, delays, and hassles. Um, it is because what we're looking at is someone who lives on again, the mental sphere. Now, this is the strength card, yes. And it is, the imagery is completely different from what we normally see in the strength card, that woman prying the jaws of the lion open and putting her hand in. That's about taking a risk, right? It is about stilling those thoughts, those fears, those phobias, digging down into your deep inner reserves, and knowing that you're going to have to step out at some point. You're going to have to take a risk. You see, because if you don't risk, then you lose. There is no growth in staying stagnant. And the universe doesn't like things to stay stagnant. So if this is a situation that is cropped up, it is cropped up because that you're being asked to change now. It's the end of that. Don't hold on to it. So to me, the most interesting thing about this card is that this guy has on a steel helmet. And to me, this speaks to someone who is unable to trust their own judgment. You see, they've been presented with the truth of a situation. And I do feel that this speaks to them having held firm to whatever it is their daydream, their desire was. Okay. And as you can see, this belt that is surround this woman actually looks like a cross. So this is someone really standing firm and having faith that whatever it is that they want, they can have. Okay. And here the universe is saying, trust that. Trust that whatever I brought to you, whatever I've presented you with, this is what you have desired and you have been asking for, even if it's been in secret all along. But this is someone who does not trust their intuition. Okay. And because they don't trust their intuition in this situation, they are unable to speak their own truth. Now, the throat chakra is about speaking your own truth. It is about, sometimes you have to say things to people that may hurt them, but it's only because you're not hurting them to hurt them, to maliciously hurt them. The words that you speak hurt them because you are speaking your own truth. Okay. And even though that person may not agree with that truth, they may not understand that truth. And that's typically why they're hurt, because they don't understand it. Okay. But you need to, that's the decision. What do I do? Do I decide to keep my mouth shut and just secretly pine away or secretly deal with whatever it is that I'm dealing with? Or do I open up, free myself by speaking my truth? Okay. Now, what I'm seeing on this row is that if this individual can release the idea that, first of all, that they don't trust their intuition. Okay. That's something I think that we're taught to do. It's kind of like, you get hunches and you may mention it to somebody and they'd be like, oh man, you crazy, and then that causes you to question your own judgment. But really, trust your intuition. You have it for a reason, and it will never, ever, ever steer you wrong. This person is so caught up in keeping what they think inside, okay, that it's like they're trapped. They're mentally trapped. Now, you can see this beautiful triangle, these three cards. Again, that is that theme of three. And it is saying that you're going to have to take a real hard look at those things that you want for yourself. And then you're going to have to put a plan in action, so to speak. on how you're going to achieve those things, okay? Because once you can release the control and open up to whatever messages are coming in that will allow you to speak your truth, this is going to move you forward, their success and growth. Now, the most beautiful line to me of this spread is this one. This is the World card. And then right after, which is the way it's supposed to be if things go right, we have the Fool card, okay? And the Fool card, in some of the old tarot decks, the Fool card followed the Embrace or this World card. In the newer decks, it comes before. But you see, no matter where you place it on this side of the world, what it tells you is this is, if it's in the front, that, you know, this is a new beginning. It's an opportunity for you to culminate all of those lessons that you've learned. And this is a new cycle. But if you look at it the way the cards are falling in the spread, this is the new cycle being presented, and you are being asked to try to integrate whatever lessons that you learned because you're about to move forward on a new journey. Now, what is most interesting to me is this Eight of Wands. Remember, I was saying it's like it's delays designed by fate, but really, if you can, to me, the solar plexus card kind of reads like the magician. Now, the solar plexus is the sits above the navel, and it is the seat of our willpower, our vitality, our life force. It is all about our self-esteem, okay? And in one respect, this line speaks to someone who may be lacking a little bit in self-esteem. And I say that because they don't trust their own intuition. You see, when you trust your intuition, that says that you have the clarity of belief, okay? And the strength within yourself to know that whatever challenge you're facing, whatever decisions that you make are going to be the best ones for you. And really, that's all that matters. What's best for you? You know, everybody else will have to kind of fall in line around what you're going on. That will mean, yes, you may lose some people around you, but maybe it's time. Um, you know, if they're not in your life to help you uphold your highest truth and to help you to be the best person that you can be, then really, why are you hanging with those people? So we have the solar plexus, and this is really about being strong within yourself. And when you are strong within yourself, then you can be strong in the other areas that you need to be. I think really this is the most telling line. And even this line down the front, this is also an 11 or would be a 2 if I wanted to break it down. But normally you don't break down master numbers. So what I have is the Ace of Swords, the Two of Cups, and the Eight of Wands. Okay? Now, this could be saying two things. It could be saying that through standing firm in what you believe surrounding this Two of Cups, okay? If you stand firm in that and you recognize it, that that's what it is a Two of Cups, okay? And if you accept that, this will lead to tremendous changes in your life on all areas. But we also know that the Eight of Wands can speak to news coming in, something moving quite suddenly. But that all depends upon whether or not this person can speak their truth. Okay? And maybe this is why there's a delay, because this person is really trying. I think in one respect they're blocking what it is. They're blocking it for a reason, because there's a lot of pain and healing that needs to be done. But I think they're working on that, okay? They're working on that. All right, now let's pull that up. I think that was a beautiful message. I do hope that that helped some of you out there. If you are waiting on someone to, I don't know, tell you how they feel, and sometimes, you know, it's not about the words, because talk is cheap. It is really about the actions that you take. You know, we do know that old saying that actions speak louder than words, you know, and so maybe it's not really what it is you should be talking about. It is about looking at the way in which your actions have spoken. Um, you know, because really, anyway, let's go to the cards, to the tarot cards. How long have I been talking on? That was a whole 20 minutes. Okay. I'm not exactly sure if I want to fool with Casanova today. So let me, I'm being guided to use the Rider-Waite Tarot. We can do Casanova tomorrow. Now, this is a general reading, as stated. So these messages will not resonate with everyone. I would like to ask that you take what you can and disregard what you cannot. It is not for any specific sign, okay? It is not for any specific time frame. This is just general messages from the divine. I think this Libra energy is really shaking people up in their perceptions. Remember, Libra is an air sign, therefore it's represented by swords. This is the perception surrounding relationships. This may be all about gaining some clarity in your relationships, or how you interact in your relationships or react within your relationships. It is about getting rid of those fantasies and illusions. And it could be even just something as simple as, you know, having more realistic expectations, because nothing and no one is perfect. But you want to be able to figure out which relationship is really going to help you to serve the highest good. Because when you have that kind of partner that has your highest good in mind, and they uphold that through their words, their deeds, their actions. In other words, there has been demonstrative proof that this person really has your highest good, even though maybe you don't trust it, or maybe there have been clashes between the two of you. Well, there's a clash because you're trying to marry those energies together. But that if you really, really think about it, and you trust it, and you listen, then you're going to find the answer that you need to do whatever it is you need to do. And even if it means that you are not end up in a relationship with that person, it's still designed to help you to step into your higher good moving forward. Right off the bat, the Temperance card, the Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Pentacles, the King of Cups, two of Cups, people, two, right where the Fool card was in the, there's that Empress, Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands, Page of Cups. Remember I said delays designed by fate? Well, now again, I am getting the message that this is really a reincarnation cycle. This is really past life related. Um, Now, I'm not sure if this queen is really a person or an energy. Could be both. I'm not sure if this empress is a person or an energy, or both. Again, please keep in mind, whether same-sex or heterosexual, whomever is going to take the role of the male, whomever is going to take the role of the female, the messages will still apply. Now, funny, funny, funny. Okay. Funny, funny. We will see how this, because just looking at this, it's a beautiful spread. And there's nothing negative in it. Now, we saw that yesterday with the Casanovas. We saw that the tarot cards were telling one story, but then when we delved a little deeper, we ended up getting another story. Now, what I'm looking at is that whatever this temperance, this is a time of healing. There's a lot of fire here. So that's why I'm saying I'm not sure if this queen is an actual person or an energy. It's kind of like it's reading both. This is, you see the temperance with the Wheel of Fortune. This is really, again, trusting your intuition. And this is about keeping your own cups filled, okay? And trying to marry your will and intentions with your desires and your hopes. And the wheel has come in to, has brought about a situation that requires a healing. And we see that it moves into some kind of weighing up. Seven of Coins. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 court cards in this. Okay. So I don't know if this is a situation where someone has 2 children, or if these court cards are simply they themselves are energy. We're going to take a look at that. Whatever this is referring to, there's a hold on it. Now, I'm picking up something very interesting from this Queen of Wands here. This row here in the center, this King of Cups. Now, I'm not going to say to you this is a water sign male, but it very well could be. Okay. Your guy could be, with all this fire, he could be a fire sign, but to you, he's the King of Cups. Okay. So, we see that this king, some event has happened here. Either the return of someone, or some kind of event coming back from the past, coming back around. There's something that has definitely come back around. I don't know if it's a person. I could say in one respect it may be with this queen here, but whatever this event is, or this person who has come back, or this situation that it has repeated itself or is repeating itself, it requires some healing, a temperance, a softening, a moment of distillation, of combining and perfection. It's almost like a moment of grace. Goes back to that spiritual protection I was talking about. Now, we can see that this king, uh, he's focused on this Two of Cups. And in one respect, this could have to do with perhaps the mother of his children, but it also speaks to perhaps an opportunity through a relationship to have extreme abundance in their life. Now, we saw this Empress yesterday, the energy. As I said, this woman or this feminine energy is something that can completely change your life. Okay? She's facing us head on. He's faced that way, but he's kind of looking out like this. Okay? He's kind of giving me the side eye, at an angle. But then there's this row here. Now, if this is the return of this fire sign female, we can see she's totally focused on something else. Why? She got another offer. There's something else that she's looking at. And whatever that thing is looking at her, whatever this is looking back at her. But at the same time, remember I said I was getting this interesting message. At the same time, I have the Wheel of Fortune, the Two of Cups, and this Fire Queen. But what sits at the base of her feet is the black cat. And so in one respect, it's like it's not a fire sign female, but it could be someone who is passionate, dramatic, intense, flamboyant, fiery temper. So this one card could be two people. Okay, the return of one and an opportunity with someone else. And if going this way, this is the return of a fire sign female, okay, then what is being brought up is trying to distinguish whether or not, if this is not a fire sign female, this is being presented with the same situation, with the situation that looks the same. It looks the same. So let me see if I can clarify this. Because I don't want you, I don't understand what you're talking about. I say to you all the time that one card can represent two people. So the message that I'm getting is that this is the return of perhaps a fire sign female for this King of Cups here. Okay? In one respect. The other down the center says that there has been somebody new who has come in. But the person is not of a fire sign. But yet they have a lot of fire sign attributes. Okay? And this is why we see, this is about the past. This is going over and editing and feeding and thinking back over what happened in the past. Because we know that something happened that required some kind of healing here. But now karma has come back around to say, I'm going to present you with an opportunity for something new. But what I'm going to do, here's the test. I'm going to make it look just like it was before. And you're going to have to determine whether or not it is the same and what is it worth to you to delve into that. Does that make sense? Because look, we're weighing up what is the value of this thing. That's what Venus is all about. Again, it goes back to self-esteem. It goes back to healing of the self. But this has come about very, very rapidly. It's going to require that someone go back to the past. Remember I said that. It's like someone comes back from the past to help you step free from your karma. Now, this could literally be, in this incarnation, someone coming back from the past. But the universe has thrown a twist. That's what the Wheel of Fortune is. It's a twist. It's a twist of fate. That there's also somebody else that has presented themselves. And it kind of feels like the same thing. Now, let's see what the Sibilas have to say. The first thing I want to look at is this Wheel of Fortune, because that's not an answer. You know, life is full of ups and downs. You know, and apparently we know that there's been a down because it leads off with the healing, okay? But this card can also speak to combining with someone, trying to combine your life with someone, and you having to make some adjustments. But the Wheel of Fortune says, well, shit, I don't even know. I don't know how that's going to go. You know, so let me stop and take stock of what I did before, what happened to me before. Because clearly the universe has brought in somebody new with this potential. But this cat tells me that it is not as it appears to be. And that really is a very, 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 very interesting concept. And I really don't know why the cards are telling me that. It is two separate people. Yeah, let me tell you. It is two separate people. One person literally from this present life incarnation, someone from a past lover, okay? But it is also the presentation of a new individual from a past life. That's what the Wheel of Fortune says. And perhaps in a past life, whatever the past life issues are or interferences or whatever is happening here, it has created this energy around this other person to appear just like the person that you're dealing with on this timeline. I think I made that clear. So let's take a look first at what the Wheel of Fortune has to say. Please don't email me asking me to explain that any clearer. This Queen of Wands represents two people. Okay, this is what I can tell you. And this is somebody weighing up what they're going to do. In one respect, this queen, even though she came back, it kind of reads like she's not going to stick around. She's got something else up her sleeve. That could also speak about that cat. Remember, I keep saying it's not what it appears to be. Wow, this is crazy. And I don't have any repeater numbers. Not a one. That's the number 14. I'll do the numerology on the top row. Maybe that'll give us some indication, some better information. I want to take a look first at this Wheel of Fortune and to see. So Spiety, the sighing and the longing. In one regard, this could be someone who's been waiting for someone to come back. Now they're weighing that up. The Lecherezza. Now, the Lecherezza speaks to sensitivity, tact, or irritability. In other words, their feelings are starting to change around this longing that they have. I do believe it is because there is a new nurturer on the scene. Now, at the same time, remember I was saying that this could be someone, a couple that has children together. Please pay attention. This queen is someone who has come back. She's presently in the picture or nearabouts. Okay? But this is the one from the past. But because this card falls in the future position, down this row tells me that this is also somebody new. That's why their feelings are changing. Okay. Now, I hope that made sense to y'all, because I can't explain it no better than that. All right. Let's take a look at, see, in this King of Cups, his body's facing that, but his face isn't. And again, it's like somebody who doesn't want to delve in. But I think it's because they're waiting. They've been waiting for someone. And maybe now some situation with a new person has come in to let them know that, in a sense, you've kind of been waiting in vain. Not in vain, but you see, that's where the daydreams and decisions card was. And it kind of speaks to saying, you know, if you've been daydreaming and fantasizing about someone coming back, well, they may come back, but they're not back to stay. They're back to help you free yourself from whatever energies that you had going on with that person. Okay? But if you've also been daydreaming about finding someone new to come into your life, that person has been presented to you or will be coming in very soon. I feel that the person is already there. But if you don't make a decision, this opportunity could pass you by. That's kind of what I'm picking up. Now, let me take a look at this Knight of Wands. This is what is it telling me? This is really karma timing, going back to the past to go to the future. And this is somebody who feels that the new person that's coming is exactly like the old person that they got out of their life, or that they just accepted back in. That's why he's not really faced that way. He's kind of faced this way. He's kind of faced that way, but his head is in a totally different direction. Okay. And it kind of speaks like he's weighing up whether or not he's going to accept this person back or not. He's got options. That's what the 2 says. He has a choice to make. And this is not the lover's choice. This is the choice of true love. Okay? Not having a choice of a lover. Which lover am I going to? This is a choice of true love. A meeting. Conversations. With the Lanamika. Now, because this represents 2 different people, who is the Lanamika? And I think who's the Lanamika for this person? That's really what that says to me. Let's take a look at this Page of Cups. See, someone's returning back to maybe they're in mediation and they're trying to reconcile. But this wheel says that with this card, you see, look, these 2 people are presenting themselves in the future position. So it is both the possibility of a reconciliation and also the possibility of someone new. But this is all tied to karma. Let's take a look at this Page of Cups. The Yardro. The Mercante. Oh, man. And the Sacerdote. Well, look. Jesus. I don't even know what to tell you about that. It indicates that there was an opportunity stolen from someone. There was definitely some type of emotional, I'm going to say, the deficiency. And in one respect, this is what has caused this mercante to make the decision to be single or stay single, okay? But it can also speak to some kind of negative emotional, but yet him considering, because sometimes this card with this Two of Cups um, could be him weighing up whether or not he wants to enter into another kind of relationship. This is definitely him, I think, being, in a sense, trying to get clear on the truth for himself. That's why there's a hold on this. Let's look at this Two of Cups, because it touches every card in the deck. There ain't no need for me to put cards on this Queen. So y'all quit asking me. There's no need. Fedelta. L'amante, male lover. Giovani fanciulla. Now look, these cards are not wanting to tell me exactly what's going on. And if I look at the Giovani fanciulla like a new female or new feminine energy on the scene, then it is just as I said. This card represents someone that the person has had a relationship in this present incarnation. Okay, and there may be an opportunity. This person may have come back quite suddenly, and maybe they are in negotiations or trying to mediate to see what's going on. But at the same time, this is also a brand new person on the scene. Only this person has come back from a past life. It is a past life connection, and therefore whatever, look, uh, it is about, it's really, let me tell you, the bottom line is, it is really about clearing karma. And it really, in a sense, has nothing to do with these two females. It really has to do with this guy clearing his karma. Um, but it can only be done through a relationship. And the value of staying true to who he is and what he wants. You see, but that poses a problem, because what you want is somebody who wants the same things that you want, right? And in one respect, it reads like this one queen in the past wanted what you want. Now she's moving forward. She doesn't want, well, she still wants what you want. She doesn't want it with you. But now you have somebody who has presented themselves, and I think this person who's presented themselves is the past life connection, okay? And they want what you want. They want it with you. So the question becomes, do you continue to hang on and want what you want with the person who doesn't want it with you? Or do you take an opportunity to do it a new way? Okay? And see, at least be open to what the person who wants what you want with you has to offer. Because look, 3 cups, 3 cups. It's a 6 of cups. It's a 6 of cups. Now, I said I was going to look at the numerology of this on the top row. A 4, static. It's static. These have no numbers. This would be a 5. This is a 3. That's a 3. And this would be a 5. Well, isn't that something? And that's a 3. Again, it speaks to spiritual protection. Now, I'm going to pull a quick angel answer card for those of you perhaps that did not get an answer. So this will be whatever question that you have that was not answered in either of those spreads. Oh, Jesus. An hour. We will see I really hope these messages have helped you. I don't know why the cards are talking about this particular situation. Obviously, somebody needs some insight or some kind of clarity, you know. And what I tell people who get readings from me is that no matter what I tell you I see in the cards, it is not set in stone, okay? The one element that is never consistent is the human factor. That's the one element. It's always unpredictable because we have free will. And some of you may be like, well, damn, Tara, that don't help me none. You know, this is going to require faith and patience and standing firm. So I'm going to pull one card, and this will be the answer to whatever question was not answered in the 2 spreads. It says you're ready. That's what it says. Whatever that means. All right. So until next time, namaste.